Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Lit Soc. Miss Huntley is not with us. Hopefully she'll be with us very soon. So this week we're going to talk about the Carnegie Medal. Now, before we started filming, I asked around about people's knowledge of the Carnegie Medal, and I think we now know what it is. So, Lucy, what is the Carnegie Medal?
So you can do it. My house is up.
Go on, Lucy. You gave a very good definition.
Okay, fine. It's an award for the best book of the year. Children's.
Correct. That's it.
Yeah, that's what
The
I'm
best book published in the previous year written for children and young people. Now, the people who are behind the Carnegie Medal are people like me, school librarians. They nominate it and they pick the winner. But in recent years, they have introduced as shadowers. So if you take part in the shadowing scheme in your reading group, then you can read the books. And there is a shadowers award that you can vote for. So there is a People's Choice Award, if you like, as well, just to make it clear that you guys have a say too if you took part. Now, it's been going for a long, long time. It's named after a guy called Andrew Carnegie. I have mentioned this before, does anyone know who he is?
I think he did something in World War II.
He might have done, but that's not why
author?
he is getting warmer. Essentially, he was a philanthropist who built and opened up lots of libraries for areas where they needed them because they were deprived areas. So he brought literacy to places that needed it. And in his honour, for his great philanthropy, he did other things as well. Carnegie Hall in New York, by the way. Anyone heard of that? Carnegie Hall, yeah. That's named after him too.
Oh wait, I think.
So he's a great patron of the arts.
I'm pretty sure there was I may have watched this in year 6. I think there's a BBC bite-sized videos film there explaining the Carnegie Medal.
What, the medal or the hall?
The medal and what it's called, what it does, and
Okay.
stuff like that.
Okay, well maybe watch that again. But anyway, yes. So the medal is named in his honour, and it's been going for a long time. The very first winner was called Pigeon Post. That's the sequel of sorts to Swallows and Amazons. You all know Swallows and Amazons, right?
Yep.
Yes. Some of you yes. Some of you know.
What
Bit of a
really?
classic in children's literature. So that was the first ever winner, and it's been going almost every year since then. And we have got the current shortlist. Now, what we're going to do, we've done this before, and we're going to do it again. In the envelope, so there's 8 books on the shortlist, and we've got all 8 book covers. And we have 6 of the books here, which I've strategically rotated so you can't see the spine. What we're going to do, how many of us are there? 1, 2, 3, there's 6 of us. So maybe a couple of us can go twice to do this. We're going to take it in turns. You can sit in the hot seat. Take it in turns to pick one of the covers out of this envelope, say what cover you've got, and then say what you think the book is going to be about.
Ooh.
Okay, and then of course everyone else can chip in as well, share their thoughts, and then once we've done that, then I will reveal what the book is actually about. Like I said, we've got 6 of the books here, and I'll look at the website for the other 2. Question?
Is this published in 2025?
Within the last 12 months, it'll also be 2024. as well.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Who would like to go first? Frida, of course. Right, come on, Frida.
I always volunteer. I feel kind of daunting. It feels kind of daunting because I always volunteer. And
I love going
She always
first
volunteers,
too.
but she finds it daunting.
No,
I like it.
same. Actually,
Right, okay, so yeah, we'll have a couple of people will go twice, but everyone will have at least one go.
I think the sixth formers should go
Okay.
twice.
Yeah.
Because it's their last day tomorrow.
We'll decide on that later. Okay, I'll have a go as well, and if Miss Huntley shows up, she can have a go too. Right. Okay, just one. There we go. Right, what have you got?
Greedy.
I have got Little Bang. Should I go to the camera?
No, it's okay. We can show the cover
Little
later.
Bang.
Okay,
So I
right.
predict.
Right, I'll tell you what. Just to help you guys a bit, I'll show you the cover. 'Cause this is one that we have got.
I already know what this is about, I think.
Go on then.
So on the top it says first day, first time, and the last thing they're expecting, and the circle's meant to be an egg, and the wiggly things are I don't want to say that. And then I think it's about a teenage pregnancy or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my
I think
prediction.
this might be. I think we might have started with might well be the easiest one to guess. I think you're probably right. Do you want to? Seeing as it's such an easy one to guess, do you want to just have a wild guess as to what might happen in the story? And
I think that 2 people go on the date for the first time. They go onto a date and they
say anything you like.
They
really.
proceed to love each other.
They proceed to love each other.
and this results badly in a baby.
Very diplomatically put. Where do you think it might be set? When do you think it might be set?
I think it's in like. How am I meant to know? I just looked
This
to the
is
back
it.
for a blur.
I'm just making it a bit because I think it's pretty obvious what it's about.
I think it might be set like now-ish.
Now-ish. Okay.
Now-ish. So like in the 21st century. But it's a bit interesting.
Okay, has anyone got anything to add before we reveal?
Anyone?
What's the author's name? Does it say?
I want to read this book,
It's
so
Kelly
I'm going to
Kelly
take this
McCaffrey.
one.
Same.
I believe it's a debut novel as well.
Dibs.
It's the first one.
Might be.
No.
Dibs.
No.
Yes.
Is it? Sorry, Samira, what are you saying?
Maybe it's like set. I think it's set near USA, like because
Okay.
the name seems quite
Okay.
Little
American,
Bang.
to be honest.
All right. Okay, right, Frida.
And the last name is McRahin. This is
Frida.
American.
Yeah.
Read the blurb.
Ahem.
Tell us what's it about.
Belfast. 2018. Belfast is in England.
Northern Ireland.
Mel.
Northern Ireland.
Oh.
It's in the United Kingdom, but it's in Northern Ireland.
Oh.
Anyway, go on.
School science nerd and church-raised good girl. 15 and have never been on a date. Sid. Hopeless. Gorgeous slacker. Wannabe singer-songwriter. About to fail his GCSEs. Raised by a fierce single mom.
It's good that we got GCSEs in. How very topical.
Little Bang. The unexpected outcome of Mel and Sid's first date. The impossible choice. In a country where abortion is illegal, what do they do now? Expertly crafted and deeply true. A book to the press into the hands of other.
Are you reading out a quote there?
Yeah.
You don't need to read those bits.
Judge
Just read the
Lee
bit
Sullivan.
where it tells us the actual story.
Oh no, this
okay?
isn't a debut novel.
Isn't it?
No, because it says from award-winning author.
Okay, what else has she written then?
Flying tips for flightless birds.
Oh, that's an interesting title.
That sounds quite sad.
Okay,
They can't fly.
so it's set in Belfast, so yeah, it is illegal because it's a very Catholic country. So, well, I say that there's a bit more. That's another lit talk in itself to go into the details of Northern Irish recent history.
I have a question.
So, yes, what's your question?
Why does Sid want to go on a date with Mel?
Well, I haven't read any of these books, so I can't answer that
I
one.
also have a question. Why do all the things about teenage pregnancies? Why is the girl always some kind of super?
I know, I was gonna say that.
It's a good question.
And the boy ruins her life
Why do we think? Why do we think then? Why do we think that might be?
because of the patriarchy.
Yeah, maybe. It's a good point. So, yes.
Why are the boys in those books, like any teenage book, always a troublemaker?
Exactly.
Like they always fail their
In
GCSEs,
musicals
never
as
do
well.
anything, like, and for some reason they always have.
All
like,
right.
dark hair.
Let me ask you this then. Do you think this would work, or do you think it'd be readable or popular if it switched and the girl was the troublemaker and the boy was the nerdy?
I feel like
It'd be more interesting.
it would be more interesting, but it would be the same. It would be more interesting if, like, it was... Wait. What was I going to say?
But you wouldn't get the emotional turmoil.
No, it would be more interesting if they figured out they were going to have a baby, and then, here's the plot twist, guys, they have a miscarriage.
Dark. Okay, so now there was a lot of interest. As in, I want to read this.
I dibs.
Sound interesting? This one? Do we
Yes.
think? Do we? And look, I know we've got 7 more to go, but do we think it might be a winner?
I predict this comes third.
They don't rank it 1 to 8. There's
Oh.
one winner, and that's it. Okay, right. Thank you, Frida. Right, who would like to go next? Yeah, can I have the book back?
Can I have it for later?
Samira?
Can I keep this? I'm gonna
Right.
use it as my
Okay.
bookmark.
Have a seat. Pick. And so, what have you got?
I have The Things We Leave Behind.
The Things We Leave Behind. Yes, we got that one too. Here we go. Here it is. The Things We Leave Behind.
That book.
Right. What do we think? So, Samira first.
Okay.
What do you think it might be about?
The 1942 World War II. I don't know what year it was. That when they sent the children like into the countryside.
Evacuation.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna think that so it's a mother and a daughter,
Mhm.
and that they and she had to send her daughter away, and then the bombing comes, and the mother kind of dies. So
Okay.
and the daughter is kind of left alone in the countryside with the people she was before, like when she came there. Yeah.
Pretty strong idea. So you think it's historical? You think it's World War II? You think it's going to be centered on a mother and a daughter?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Anything on the cover? Is it maybe that central image there that gives you that idea? So there's a picture of
wait.
two people holding hands. It looks like a mother and daughter.
No, I'm gonna change it. I think they're Jewish because of the wire around going.
Oh, the barbed wire. Yeah, so yeah, you
and
got
they
this
might
golden...
be both in a concentration camp,
Yeah.
and then they get separated and they don't find each other ever again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna think that.
Okay, what do we think? So, again, look, you've got as much to go on as Samira, so what do you think?
So I do think it's about World War II, but I do have a sidetrack. The things we leave behind kind of reminds me of another book. Or wait, it's not a book. It's like a song, and in that song, it describes the thing we leave behind as our family and our things.
Which is what evacuation...
Yeah,
that you leave your
So that's
family
my
behind.
side note.
Okay. Anyone else?
That makes me think of
Right.
Taylor Swift, to be honest, the title.
Taylor
No,
Swift.
it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like Taylor Swift.
Read the blurb for us, please.
Civil unrest in London has reached an all-time high after years of growing
Authoritarianism,
regime,
maybe?
and it's no longer safe for Clem and her half-sister Billy in the city. Clem tells of their treacherous journey to Scotland by road and then by sea, fleeing with nothing but a notebook filled with stories and memories of home. But is there something Clem's not saying? And how will this journey and the sister's story end? The start of a new life or a mirror held up to the past?
Okay, so, not World War II. In fact, I believe it's a dystopia. Yes, a startling dystopia that imagines London as the epicenter of the refugee crisis. So maybe that's what the barbed wire was about. So, okay, what do we think? Any first impressions now that we know what it's actually about?
I feel like that's gonna be a hit because, especially with like reform taking a lead in like a lot of polls right now, I feel like a lot of people, like refugees especially, because like a lot of people in the country don't originally like come from here. They might relate to it a little bit more because, and when you look at other books about refugees, you see them do very successfully. So I'd say that is a potential one, I would think.
There has been, you're right, there have been a few. The Other Side of Truth, you heard that one? Beverly Naidoo? That was about refugees coming over from Africa, and that one in like, late 90s, early noughties.
Wait, is
So,
Beverly Naidoo also the one that wrote Journey to Joburg?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, that sounds familiar. So she won for The Other Side of Truth. Now, in this one, they actually go into Scotland as a safe haven. So it was an interesting presentation here. Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, I've seen the program.
That's Gilead USA, but Canada's the safe haven. So I think it feels like they've depicted Britain very interestingly because Scotland is the safe haven here.
Like Scotland is above England. And
Geographically, yeah.
You know what I don't like about The Handmaid's Tale though? The fact like after the show's been made, on the book the cover is the same cover as the show.
Oh, that's very common though.
I really hate it.
There's lots of TV and movie tie-in
They need
editions.
to stop doing that. It ruins the
So what do you think,
whole
Samir?
feel.
Do you sound good to you? Sound interesting?
I have a feeling that people who did not ever been to Europe or like UK in general won't understand, because I know a few people, like my friends, who have no idea about the UK. Like they might not understand what that means, I think.
Okay, so you think it might something that might not be understood outside of this country, perhaps?
Yeah, I know my friend, she won't get what the book is about because she has no idea where even Scotland is, I think.
Okay,
So
interesting.
Anyone
Anyone else? Anyone else think this might be a winner, possibly, or would they like to read it? Maybe. Not quite as enthusiastic then. Okay, well, thank you, Samira. Right, come on in, Lucy. What we get? Let's. Okay, what have you got?
All that it ever meant.
All that it
That's a
ever
love book.
meant.
That's a love book.
All that it ever meant.
Oh, I saw that book on the new book.
Well,
Okay, what do you think it's about?
Well, I think it is a love book. You can see that there are people and that there's two sides which generally depicts that like they might not be together all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they both look quite grumpy actually. And It might be a lot.
Why do you think they look grumpy? Why are they grumpy?
Just look at those faces.
No, I mean, but why are they grumpy? What's caused them to be grumpy? Have they lived hard lives?
Maybe they're pouting their lips. I think one of them lives more like in kind of more Western civilization. One of them lives in a less so because one of them looks like they're wearing some kind of tribal stuff. Mm-hmm. I think it might be LGBTQ. I don't know.
Okay.
It's because they're like both. I mean, you said it was a love book, and so usually love books show the both characters on the front page, and
is it reminding you of anything?
Yes, it is.
What's it reminding you of?
Clap before you land.
Yeah, it's reminding me of it as well. I mean, I've actually got the blue in front of me, but okay. Why do you think it's called that? Why do you think she's given it this? The author, Blessing Musariri. Why do you think she's given it that title? That's a name. All that it ever meant. Why do you think she might have done that?
I don't know.
So I think that she might have done that title because the one that's like more tribal, maybe she's not allowed to be in such relationship. So maybe it's all that it ever meant. It's like it didn't mean anything.
Okay, so significance in terms of the name of the tribe connotations. Okay, yes.
I didn't think it's a love book because on the spine there's no LGBTQ symbol, first of all, and then I have a feeling they're like
but they're
sisters, like from the fiction.
The glow.
So you think they're sisters?
Time travel.
Oh my god,
Time travel.
Am I getting
they look the same though. Like
Josie, you got anything to add?
I was kind of having like a different idea that maybe it's either like sisters or like mother and daughter and like moving away, and that all it ever meant, like moving like to a different culture, like moving away potentially from where original home culture is, and somewhere else, and what it ever meant like for that one person maybe like their freedom, but the other person feeling that it meant a lot more the turning away from.
Yeah, so it's tied up a lot more strongly with their identity and their day-to-day life. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Right, tell us what it's about.
Should I include the yellow?
No, maybe not.
After Mama died, we left England on a road trip across Zimbabwe. It should have been fun, if only everyone weren't so angry. That's when I first met Maticaius.
Okay.
No one else can see them, not even with their coiled dreads, crown of flowers, and rings that sparkle like crazy. And they're pushing me to tell my story of the day my world turned upside down.
Okay.
I still have no idea.
So, that's back to me. Like, obviously, I haven't read these either, but from what I can gather there, family originates from Zimbabwe. Their mothers died, and it's caused a lot of grief in the family. It's ruptured the family apart. And to sort of obtain some closure, they go to her ancestral home of Zimbabwe, and that's where. So I'm guessing this is where Clap When You Land comes in a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm guessing she's probably the Meticais, and so she's from England, and they're two worlds meet just like in Clap When You Land. So, but unlike Clap When You Land, it's not written in verse. Yes.
I have a feeling like I don't know what they're called, but like she might be a ghost, maybe like of her mother.
Oh, okay. So
maybe like
a polygorist.
A poltergeist. Right. Thank you, Josie. I wouldn't have guessed that.
I always read it so wrong.
Yeah. So basically, a bit of horror then. Who's thinking a bit of a horror aspect to it? Was it you said poltergeist?
Oh wait.
Poltergeist?
Or horror?
I didn't say ghost.
Who said horror?
I said ghost.
You said horror. Sorry. Yeah. So you think there might be a bit of that in it?
Yeah, but like not gore horror, not like
haunting.
Like haunting, like child horror.
More like psychological horror than graphic horror. Okay, well, it could be. Yeah, who knows? So, what do we think of this one then? Anyone? I'm not feeling the same enthusiasm here, to be honest.
I think it will win.
You don't think it will win? What about in terms of would you want to read it? No, not
Depends.
grabbing us in the same way as the others, perhaps.
Wait, is it written in verse? Like
No, it's not. I just flicked through it. It's not. It's a novel.
Well, then I don't want to read it even. And I'm not being rude to the author. I just really don't like.
Yeah, we're not being rude to you if you're watching.
We love you.
Okay.
Like, I like Clap When You Land, but I really like Clap When You Land because that story is told in verse and it feels almost romanticized.
This one, or Clap When You Land.
Clap When You Land.
Okay.
But that one is, if it's not in verse, I don't see the point.
I'm not sure why a
In
novel
verse.
needs to be written in verse.
No, I
for it
just
to
like
work.
those kind of novels being written.
But you see, most novels aren't written in verse.
I know.
So, yes?
What does written verse mean?
Basically, poem form. Okay.
Oh, yeah, no.
All right, so thank you very much, Lucy. Okay. Josie, Holly, would you two like to step up to the plate? Well done, Holly. So remember, look, there's no pressure here because none of us have read these books. So it's all very much like going on first instinct and seeing what you think.
Thank you.
Right, what have you got?
Play by Luke Palmer.
Play by Luke Palmer. That's another one we have as well. There we go. So this is it. Right, so having a look at that cover, what do you think it might be about?
Suicide.
Look at the title, look at the... You know, why is it given that title? Again, look, none of us know.
It's very dark. I can't see it.
What do you...
There's
Just...
someone like jumping off. There's water at the bottom. There's like a little house over here, trees, and there are people sitting at this like thing at the top.
So it's nighttime, isn't it?
Yeah.
And... So yeah, now that we've described what the illustration is, and so, what do you think it might be about? What do you think it might be about?
I think it's about like a teenage group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
They were like doing something near a river that was meant to be like playing a game, but then something goes wrong.
Okay, something goes wrong. Samira?
Kind of agree with Frida, but I think those books which are like a group of friends come to a place and then they start playing hide and seek or something, and then they start disappearing one by one. I think it might be something like that.
Okay.
Like the people at the
More
top
horror.
might be the one who disappeared, and then he's trying to find the rest. Maybe.
Okay. It could be. Like, it could be. But why do we? So yeah, we got someone jumping into that's a body of water down the bottom there, and that looks like a lone little shack with a light on under a tree, and the title is Play. So putting those things together, and look, I haven't actually read the blurb yet, so I don't know what it's about. What do we think? What do we think it might actually?
Drowning.
It's called Play.
Oh, playing.
I don't like the title.
You don't like the title?
The way it's written is in
Is
the
it like-
font.
is
It
it
doesn't look like it's a happy book. It's
No,
more like a horror in the font.
Is it
it's
like
written.
The Boy Who Pressed Play, or like is it not?
Oh, the boy who hit Play. Have you read
Jumanji.
that? That's yeah.
Is it similar?
Well,
Could be.
all right. Could you read the blurb for us? So ignore the quotes at the top. Just read the blurb by there. Right, Holly's going to tell us what it's actually about now.
4 boys grow up together at school, playing games, scoring points from each other, anything to pass the time until they're free. Matthew slips into his imagination, Luce pushes his body to the limit, and Johnny, well, who knows what Johnny's up to. But when Mark starts running errands for his older brother's mysterious associate, he thinks he's found the best game of all. Can they work out the rules they're playing by and make it to the finish line before someone loses more than just face?
Oh,
Giving inheritance games, but darker.
it reminds you of Inheritance Games. Why does it remind you of Inheritance Games?
Because they're playing a game that's a bit sketchy.
To do with family.
Older brother's mysterious associate. So yeah, there's clearly something
Yeah,
Grayson?
older
Is that
brother.
in the
Yeah.
shadows there.
Oh no.
What do you think about the fact it's got 4 main characters?
Wait, is it?
Oh wait.
Matthew,
From
Luke,
Multiple
Johnny,
Paths.
Does it have like?
Mark. Oh, hello. Anyone notice something about those names?
Wait, what's
I'll
the
say them
name
again. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and Johnny.
The Gospels.
Yeah.
No.
What?
It is. It's the 4 Gospels. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So, anyone... Why do you think... so, who's the author? Luke Palmer. He's a Luke as well. Why does anyone think he might have done that?
Just a play on religious, a play on religious words.
And why do you think he's done a play on religious words?
Maybe he's done that because is to like, has God saved them in the end of the book?
I don't know. I haven't read. Again, I haven't read.
I'll get
Your
a
guess
really
is as good
bad
as mine.
feeling if like they find a journey to God at the end of the
Oh
book,
no.
because that ruins a plot.
I don't. Something tells me
I feel like it could.
I'll give. I did ask Holly not to read out the quotes
Read
from
the
other
quote.
authors, but I'll read one. As Melvin Burgess's junk was to the dangers of drugs, this cautionary young adult novel is a threat of radicalization.
What's radicalization?
So, to give you an example, has anyone seen or heard of Adolescence, the TV show on Netflix?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Mum
Yes.
said it's
Yes,
too
yes,
old.
yes.
Isn't
It-
it like
it-
in one
It
shot?
probably is something for not
Doesn't he come out of character?
a few years' time, but basically, it's about a boy who has been radicalized by incel culture. Do you know what that is?
I know.
Incel culture, yes.
They're
Involves incel,
toxic
basically
masculinity.
toxic masculinity.
Yes.
And he, no spoilers here because it's revealed in the first episode, he kills a girl.
Goes for
And this looks like, and look, obviously I haven't read it, but
They
that's
kill
one that's one type of radicalization. There's other types of radicalization as well, right? Important to add that. So this could be a very interesting issues novel for boys as well. But then we've got the biblical element. So yeah, interesting. So what do we think about this one then? Do we think this is one that we might be interested in? Yes,
Potential.
a more keen nodding here,
Yeah.
certainly from Samira.
I'm so
tips for
confused.
tomorrow.
I reckon it could be a winner possibly, as well, with its weighty issues and its themes.
If it has a
So-
lot of issues, I think. Wait.
Well, we all like stuff to talk about important and relevant stuff, don't we? So, all right, thanks, Holly. Thank you very much. Right, Josie, your turn. Up you come. So, might need to speed this up a bit, but I've not got time to talk about past winners. So, what have we got?
King of Nothing.
King of Nothing. And I don't have that one here, I'm afraid. So, you're going to have to do your best to... on first instinct, what do you think it might be about? See if I can get. There you go. Here's a bigger picture. There you go. So, King of Nothing, boy. Anton rules the school, but what will be his crowning glory? So, what do we think? We're judging a book by its cover to a degree, but what's going on in the cover there? Where is he? He's sort of like leaning up against a garage.
Yeah, with graffiti.
Graffiti
behind him.
throughout. So, yeah, what do you think? Anton rules the school. What will be his crowning glory? So, what do you think might be happening in this one? Again, it's all a guess.
It's prom.
Prom.
Yeah, and but he has parent issues at home. That's why he's a troublemaker. And everybody wants to go out with him, to the prom, and he wants someone who really wants to go with him, and he finds this girl, normal teenage people. He finds a girl who loves reading, who loves school, who tells teachers about homework, the teacher's pet basically, and
Very simple.
This sounds a bit like the first one again, right? Little bang. A little bit of that. Okay.
It actually is.
So you think it might be that? Okay, interesting.
I have a sense this isn't gonna win, and I don't even know what it's about.
It's
Okay.
a book in bookstores. I see it every single time I go. It's always straight up next to the entrance.
Because I've seen it.
This one.
Yeah, it is always.
Okay.
I've seen this on those Waterstones book displays, not
Yeah.
the ones outside, but the ones inside. They have the big stock of book that they
Yeah,
sell.
it's always
I've
there.
seen it there, and if I'm being honest, it doesn't look like material that would win. And I know that this is very stereotypical of me, but if you look at all the past winners' covers, they never look like that.
Again, we
And
shouldn't.
that's how I stereotype.
We
it.
shouldn't go on covers. I mean, you say this, but all of these are past winners. You look at some of these covers, and right.
No, but compare
Do you want me to read
them.
it? I'll read it.
This cover looks
So-
interesting.
Anyway,
So does that.
moving on. We're not dwelling on that. So this is what it's actually about. Relationships lie at the heart of this story. Anton wears the reputation of his father, who is in prison, like a badge of honour at the start of the book. He gets into trouble at school and ends up having to volunteer, in quotation marks, at a community project ironically named Happy Campers. When Matthew, a somewhat quirky boy, unexpectedly saves his life, Anton starts to reassess his life and choices. Seems to be a lot of male protagonists I've noticed this year. So, yes?
It's given the Rookie vibes. It's a TV show. It's given the Rookie vibes. I think some people might know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's just given it. It's a popular TV show on YouTube, but like it's just given the vibe. Like
anyone else know what?
I don't think anybody else knows. Not many people know.
Is
about
it
the policeman one?
Oh,
Lucy Chan, that one.
I know what she means. I know what she means.
Like,
guys.
All right, thanks, Jesse.
You know that? You know on like YouTube,
Right, we've got 3 left.
sometimes you get those like short clips of that
Yeah, that
woman
one.
police officer,
Yeah,
and like I don't know.
it's in Bradford.
Right, I'll do one.
You know, that's just one.
Right, so I've picked Treacle Town,
Ooh.
which I mustn't read the blurb, but there you go.
What's a treacle?
Have a look. Right, so on the cover we've got, it's a very stylized cover. The sky looks like it's very orange, almost made of lava. And it's 4 teenage boys, so
Again.
there we go. It's that male protagonist thing again. Now this author, he's been shortlisted before. He did a book called When Mr. Dog Bites, and that was about a boy with Tourette's. Now this, I'm guessing it's about a gang of boys, Treacle Town. Why is it called Treacle Town?
Stop.
I'm gonna guess that they're gonna pull off some kind of heist.
They do.
Robbery.
Those pockets do seem to be bulging.
And but I'm gonna guess there's a reason for it. I'm gonna guess maybe one of them has lost someone because the treacle was poisoned. I don't know, but yeah, the treacle is going to figure very heavily. Right? Anyone else want to share their thoughts? So yes, Josie.
Well, I was thinking maybe treacle isn't like literal, but it's like metaphorical because they feel stuck in a situation. And potentially that's why maybe they do some kind of heist or something, but it's out of like necessity of feeling trapped in something.
Much better than my interpretation. I like that. So feelings of being trapped, getting stuck in a situation.
What does treacle mean?
Well, treacle is a kind of food stuff. It's like very thick, gloopy kind of. You tend to put it on your. Yeah.
Maybe it might be about like the teenage boys and they like want to pull off a heist, but it's like to do with a political figure.
Could
maybe
be
something to do with treacle as well.
Well, it's Treacle Town, so maybe it's a town where that is famous for treacle. Can I have the book back?
Yeah, maybe it's a town. Like everyone's like. Maybe it's maybe it's in this town. If it's like
The town is made of treacle.
No, but like the people.
No.
The people are made of treacle.
I don't think so.
I think you should write a poem about that.
They're like
The people made of treacle.
I think if this is in England, this is definitely set in like East London. But if
Very
it's set
specific.
in America, it's going to talk about gun violence.
It's not set in America. I know. The reason I know this is because the author's been shortlisted before. I could be wrong, but I highly doubt it's set in America.
It's set either in Scotland or Wales. I don't know why.
Scotland or Wales.
I think it's in like East London.
All right, let's have a look, shall we? Con O'Neill is stuck in a world of brutal gang violence,
Knew it. Yeah.
sectarian vendettas, and personal tragedies. It's all very hard-hitting, violent young men, I'm afraid. No money, no prospects, a social design, what Josie said, that entraps inhabitants of treacle towns up and down the country. So yeah, it's all about being stuck, so it's not literal. Well done. He is desperate to get away to find a better, happier life. When he stumbles upon the new world of slam poetry, Con senses a glimmer of hope. So it's like Eminem almost, getting rap battles. He's going to slam poetry his way out of his poverty. A hope that might just lead to escape from treacle town, but it won't be easy. Yeah, so another hard-hitting, dark, grim. So Con is one main character. I'm guessing that's just his friends. So what do we think about that one? Do we think that could be a winner?
That
Depends.
I think that
Depends on how...
that could be a winner.
He has been shortlisted before. Also not suitable for younger readers, so sorry you can't read it, younger readers.
I
Right.
do think, though, that could be a potential winner because I feel like it will be.
Okay, I was hoping for a more meaningful payoff after that build-up. Never mind. Right, we've got 2 left. So who would like to go up for a second go? Right, you two had your hands up first,
Done.
Samira, and then
Okay.
Lucy. So Samira.
I'm stealing one of your seats until then.
So
Yeah,
Lucy,
you're fine,
Lucy, you're going to be
never mind.
left with whatever the last one is, and Samira has picked.
I know this book.
You know this
The
book.
Final Year. I know it.
That's another one we don't have. So,
Darn,
I
I
know.
had
have you read it?
I've read it again. Sorry, in my year 6, they were reading it. I haven't been listening. I know how it goes though, a bit.
Well, you know more about it than us, so...
Yeah, it's about this boy he's like in his final year in primary school.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's everything I remember.
Okay, what goes on? You must remember a little bit more
I
than
think his little brother might be. Yeah, his little brother goes to that school, and yeah. Let me think. I don't remember.
that. All right.
I'm supposed to know this.
Okay, whilst Samir is trying to remember, so
I'm
we got,
supposed to know
for
this.
those for everyone else, so there he is, he's on the cover. Now he's got a big pair of wings sprouting out of his shoulders.
called again?
The final year.
It's the final year of his life.
No, the final year
it's
of
the final year of
primary
primary
school.
But then I thought it would be the final year of his life because he's got wings like an angel, so he's going up into heaven.
Nothing is about. Not
going
everything is
up.
about.
Samira has read it,
I know it's
so
about.
she knows that it's not.
Darn.
So he's got a football in his hand
I
and a
think-
book in the other.
I'm just gonna take a wild guess. I think
All right, I tell you. Okay, look, we do need to move on, I'm afraid. So here we go. A poignant exploration of change and loss. Nate struggles to come to terms with the changes facing him in his home and school life during his final year of primary school. His best friend moves class, and his home life becomes increasingly uncertain after the tumult and turmoil of his brother being rushed into hospital.
Oh yeah.
Can Nate find his place among a fast-changing world? So, it was like a read-up book, this one. Not that we've picked stats for next year's.
No, yeah, but it does seem like one. Like.
But it's... Okay, what do we think? Do we think that's... Seems a bit sad. No, shaking our
I really
heads.
didn't like
Not
it.
grabbing us.
It's not
like
gonna.
it.
Just too sad.
It's not gonna
we need
win.
I'm guessing it doesn't end
It was
sadly.
kind of boring, to be honest.
Kind of boring.
It was kind of not to be rude, but anything. But I've been zoning out in class, even reading it. I was just looking out the window because I couldn't be bothered to listen about what I was going through, like leaving primary school. Because I already kind of knew.
But
Kinda
that's not the
knew.
norm. She's not saying she does that in every English class. At least I hope she doesn't.
Kinda, if at least in physics.
Just remember
You
you're on
don't-
camera here,
I know, yeah.
and your teacher might be watching.
Did you find
Physics, I just suck at physics.
No, we're not going to go into that, okay?
I can't
this
do
is not the
physics.
time and place for that. So,
Yeah.
the questions about the
all right, thank you, Samira. Right, we have one last one then, and I know which. Right, you go. This is it. So have a look, and So this is it.
More boys.
More boys.
Oh, I know.
Glasgow
So
boys.
this time I know
wait,
this book.
Lucy.
It's by Margaret MacDonald, which is the first thing I noticed.
Okay. So on the cover we've got what have we got?
It's kind of blurry, but I think there's like a boy, and then it's a building. So,
Skyscraper.
and I think the
It's like
boy
high rise.
is on the building.
Might be.
He looks like he is.
Okay.
I can't read. Can I? Stunning, hopeful. So it's gonna be sad, but it's gonna make you happy, maybe. And the other one?
I'll help you out a little bit. I'll read the tagline,
There's
which is on
hardly
the
anything
back
on the cover.
Two boys can't remember the last time they had a hug.
Oh, it's sad.
Okay, now that you now I've given you that, what do we think it might be about?
It's about
So there's two
orphans.
boys.
It's orphans.
Okay, wait till Lucy first.
It might be orphans.
Potentially.
Okay, go on in.
So I think it's about orphans because if you can't remember the last time you had like a proper hug, then that kind of spells out to me that you're an orphan or you're lonely and just sad. But the point is, I think these two orphans are finding their way to each other, and like I think they kind of look after each other almost as brothers, and I think the book goes through the challenges they faced, but it ends on a high note, which is why it's sad but hopeful.
Okay, well.
Maybe it's a. I think it's a slow high note.
Very quickly, Samira, and then you can tell us what it's actually about, Lucy.
It has the LGBTQ symbol.
It does, well done.
I know
That means that I think it might be about two boys who were like in school and like they've grown up a bit now, and one of them, for example, has died because of an, I don't know, like not for a, like, okay, let's say a heart attack or something like that.
Okay.
And then, like, he's just sitting and looking at his building now, like, just thinking about what the times they spend there together, and like.
Okay. Right, why don't you tell us what it's actually about?
Two boys can't remember the last time they had a hug. Meet Finlay. He's studying for his nursing degree at Glasgow University, against all the odds. But coming straight from care means he has no support network. How can he write essays, find paid work, and not fall for the beautiful boy at uni when he's struggling to even feed himself? Meet Banjo. He's trying to settle in with his new foster family and finish high school. But he can't forget all that has happened, and his anger and fear keep boiling over. How can he hold on to the one good person in his life when his outbursts keep threatening his already uncertain future? Can Finlay and Banjo let go of the past before it drags them under? Wait, no.
What? No, you don't think they can?
No, it's something else. So I looked at the other thing that was in yellow, and it's after a quote, and it's the person who did the quote, and it's kind of just a...
Oh, yeah, she's... I think that might be a pen name. I think she's like sort of doing a bit of self-mockery. That
Okay.
author.
Non-Pratt.
Samira.
Even Heartstopper vibes.
Heartstopper vibes. I think it's a bit darker than Heartstopper. Judging by that. There's a red dot on there as well, yeah. Well spotted.
Like it.
To be honest,
I used to put a red dot on Treacletown as well.
all the books I've read, I would put a red dot on them. I would put the red dot on Heartstopper. Like any books I read, I would put a red dot on it. I think.
I'm not going to do that because I'm stopping you all reading about half the library. I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't
you
wanna do that.
can't.
Thank you.
would
I agree.
say-
So anyway, what do we think? Do we think this one is a potential winner?
Yes.
No.
Why?
Potential winner because it doesn't include 4 boys.
Oh,
It does include 2 boys.
But it makes it stand out a tad bit more than the 500 4 boys. book.
Yeah, you don't have to say it to the camera. We get it.
I just think that it might be a bit more of a potential winner because it also includes things like LGBTQ
Yeah.
and the care system as well,
Yeah.
which you don't often,
More issues.
which-
Members more issues.
more issues, which you don't often see together in a book.
Okay.
I will say, like they have been separated,
Mm-hmm.
but like I've never read a book with them together. So
Okay. So, any other thoughts before? Yes.
To be honest, it's kind of, I don't know. Thinking, it's kind of like the same thing Frida says. Kind of the issues together. It's kind of the orphan, then the university. I think it was about being.
They're from working class backgrounds, and
Yeah.
and there was the thing about
Nursing
him
degree.
struggling to make ends meet and everything when he's.
Yeah.
And then the other one seems to have anger
himself.
management
It's
issues
sad.
as well, which is interesting.
It's just sad.
Can I say something, JC?
I was just gonna say like it's like lots of themes coming up and lots of things coming together, but like it kind of I feel like that maybe is something of an appeal to the book because like people generally don't deal with just one thing at once.
Mm.
Like people do have lots of things.
Oh
going
yeah,
on in their lives
we all do.
at once, so
We all do.
maybe that is something that makes it like maybe the situation isn't relatable to everyone, but
Hmm.
like the thing of the difficulty of balancing lots of things at once and lots of things happening to them.
Absolutely. So you might have one overwhelming pressing issue, perhaps, but you've got other things, other obligations you have to meet as well. Yeah. So, yes, don't worry, you can have those biscuits in a minute. I saw you having your secret biscuit conversation. So, right, let's have a go then at doing a prediction now. So, yeah, like I said, I haven't got 2 of them here. So the 2 we don't have were King of Nothing and what was the other one?
make my decision.
Was
I've
it-
made my decision.
What was the other one we didn't have? Oh, it was the final year, wasn't it? Right, so, hands up if you think King of Nothing. No. Hands up if you think the final year. No. Hands up if you think Treacletown. Oh. Hands up if you think Glasgow Boys. Hands up if you think Play. All That It Ever Meant, one of the few with about girls rather than boys. The Things We Leave Behind, also about girls rather than boys as well, by the way.
Then the next one.
After a lot of
It's clear. Okay, so it's clearly we think it's going to be one of these 2 then. So the winner is announced. I think it's something like June the 18th or something like that. So we will circle back to it then, and we'll see if our prediction is true,
Can we
whether it actually is correct.
on the YouTube video? We should write what's that called when you mention that we should mention
Oh, caption.
yeah, in the caption we should
I know it.
the Carnegie medal account so they can see our prediction.
Oh, we would tag them, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. No problem. We should be able to, and hopefully they'll see. All right, thank you very much for your contributions, everyone. I was hoping that we could talk about, but we actually had a lot to say, even though we haven't actually read any of the books between us. We're almost at 5 o'clock, so I don't think we're going to have time. Does anyone want to say anything in particular about why they? So who picked the monster calls?
Me.
In one sentence, why did you pick that one?
It's mine. It handles a lot of things about self-hatred, nightmares. It's a very scary book. But yeah, I read it in year 6, and it was a really, really good book to get me into more I wouldn't say adulty literature, but I got into a lot of horror books after that.
Okay.
So it's a good book because it's not that scary, but it can ease you into being scared.
And it comes highly recommended because it's about grief because he's dealing with losing his mother, and it's very cleverly put together. The monster tells very clever stories, beautiful illustrations.
The last line.
Oh, and the last line makes you cry out loud. Yes, don't read it because I don't want everyone to start crying out loud. Okay. Lucy, you picked Here Lies Arthur. In one sentence, why did you go for Here Lies Arthur?
It's the only one I've read.
Okay, why do you like it then?
Well, it's historical fiction, and I like historical fiction because I like history.
Obviously, it's about the King Arthur myth.
Yeah, I would say that King Arthur, in my opinion, I think King Arthur probably did exist. So to me, it's more historical because I don't believe the legends so much. I think he did exist as a person, though.
Okay.
It's yeah.
But without all of the,
Blah, 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 blah.
yeah, Holy Grail and...
So the actual main character is not Arthur, though.
Yep.
It's
It's a girl, isn't it? I believe.
It's a girl called Gwina.
Mm-hmm. You want to sit down?
Yes, I shall. And so, Gwina's name changes because she's forced to, become a boy at some point, some bits, called Gwyn. They just removed the A.
Yes. Yeah, and that's so she can go undercover to serve a King Arthur.
Yeah. And
now Philip Reeve, of course, what's Philip Reeve most famous for? It's in the anthology.
It's in right here.
Mortal Engines.
Mortal
Engines, yeah. So this is a bit of a departure from that. It's a bit different. So
I think it's one of the better ones.
And you think it's one of the better ones? Yeah, obviously the King Arthur myth is very, it's wired into our national consciousness.
I would say one of my favourite things is how on the title it says here lies, as in you lie.
Yeah. So at first glance, Here Lies Arthur is his resting place, his grave, but actually you're saying it means something else.
He lies.
Yeah, he means he's not being truthful.
It also says in smaller font, everyone's heard of King Arthur, but no one's heard the truth.
There we go. Yeah, that's it. All right. Well, thank you very much. Okay, so I think that pretty much wraps up Lit Soc this week. So next week, before we go, if you are able to make it, it's going to be on. We always do it this time of year. Bibliotherapy, which means basically reading for well-being. It is Mental Health Awareness Week next week, first of all, and then the week after it's exam week. So a bit of bibliotherapy. So bring along a book that you always turn to at times when you need to be cheered up, when you need a bit of a lift. Okay?
I have a picture.
Right, so can we wave to the camera, everyone, and say goodbye, and we will see you all next week. Bye.